What's up guys, today's video is going to be on 5 of my favorite Olight weapon lights. Let's get into it. So before we get into the video, I wanted to mention that Olight is having a sale and everything you see here is going to be on sale from now until the 14th. So be sure to click the link in the description and check out the sale, and if you missed the sale, you can still get 10% off anything on the Olight web store besides the X9R using the coupon code APARMS. Again, that link's in the description. So let's go ahead and first talk about the pistol lights. And up first we have the Bowder S. This light has been a favorite of mine for a little while now because of the size, power, and all of the features that it has. And all the firearms in this video are already unloaded. Always when you're handling a firearm, make sure that it's not loaded. Don't want to have any accidents. So up front you have your lens here, and you can see that you have your laser emitter under there. And that's right, this is a compact weapon light, but it also has a built-in laser. And unlike some other lights, it's not just stuck on the bottom here. It's actually behind the glass and the main reflector, which is a really nice feature. Switch on the bottom here allows you to toggle between the modes. You have laser, light and laser, or light only. I typically keep it on light and laser or just light only. And on the side you have your dual pressure switches, and that's how you activate the light. Press it down, you can click it down for constant on, or you can press and hold, and when you let go it is going to turn off. And for its size, this thing packs a lot of power. It has an output of 800 lumens, which is very, very bright coming out of a light this size. And if it's too bright for you, say it's during the middle of the night, you don't want to blind yourself shooting it off of a white wall or anything, you can keep it in low mode. So if I just double tap the switch, you can see it brings it down into a low mode. And then when I turn off the light and turn it back on, it's always going to be in that low mode. I can also double tap it again for high mode if you want that full 800 lumen power. And this little dot on the side is a battery status indicator. It will light up red when it's time to charge the light. And speaking of charging, all of these lights have the magnetic charging port that Olight's famous for. It makes it super convenient to just slap a charger on here whenever you need to use it. You don't have to take it off your gun. You don't have to use a little lever and take out 2 batteries and put new ones in. You just slap on a charger, connect it to the wall or a USB port, and then when the light turns green, you're good to go. So again, mounting options, this actually has a really cool glide lock feature. So this has a QD lever. It is a QD mount, and if I just loosen it but don't take it off, I can move this forward and backward to fit a wide variety of different firearms. And on the Glock 19, I like to keep it 2 clicks up so it's flush or sticking out just a tiny bit over the front of the barrel. And again, it's a QD lever, so it makes mounting it very easy. And in the mount, you do have your GL insert. All the Olight pistol lights have the interchangeable insert. So Glock Gen 1 through 4 uses a slimmer rail slot than the Gen 5 Glock, which actually uses true Picatinny. But if you try and use a Picatinny section in an older Glock, it will not fit in that slot. So you need the special GL adapter. Anything else though, put the Picatinny rail section in because it will move forward and backward a tiny bit. So here is the Bowder Pro R, and this thing is really awesome. Starting up front, you have a very wide and deep reflector, which gives you an awesome hotspot. And in that reflector, again, you have the laser emitter. This one, just like the Bowder S, has a built-in laser. On the front, you have this ring here, and this is how you select the modes. Instead of the switch back here, you have a ring up front to change the modes. Again, laser only, light and laser, and light only. And I didn't mention this on the Bowder S, but they both have it. These are adjustment screws for windage and elevation for the laser, so you can sight it in to be spot on where you need it. There's a battery status indicator right there. Again, there's the awesome magnetic charging port, and I do believe this is compatible with Olight's pressure switches, so you can run this light on a rifle, which is really awesome. And you can see they do have a little raised portion around it, so when the switch is magnetically attached, it'll be less easy to snag and pull off. Further back, you have the switches, and this one has really nice large switches. And again, just like the other, you have your constant on, your momentary on. You could switch down to low mode. And you may need to switch this light down because in high mode, this light has an output of 1350 lumens. that is super bright. So indoors in the middle of the night when your eyes are already adjusted to the night, that may be very bright. But for outdoors, that is perfect. And the deep reflector gives you a nice tight hotspot with a long throw of 230 meters. So for outdoors, this is perfect. Again, quick detach just like the other one. And this is also something that I did not mention about the Bowder S, but on the other side, you have a flathead screwdriver slot. That is how you adjust the tension. So out of the box, these are already set like perfectly for my guns. But if your rails are a little bit slimmer or a little bit wider, it could be too tight or too loose. So to adjust that, you can go here with a screwdriver and turn it just a little bit clockwise or counterclockwise to tighten it or loosen it up. Outdoor performance is very good on these. On the Bowder S, you have a nice 800 lumen high mode that gives you plenty of light for indoors and outdoors with 130 meters of throw. That is very good considering it's not a very deep reflector and overall a very compact weapon light. And on the Bowder Pro R, you have that insane 200 meters of throw with the 1350 lumens of brightness. That makes this light one of the brightest pistol lights currently available. And again, for indoor use, you do have that low mode, which makes this really convenient. With that deep reflector, again, you get a really nice tight hotspot with a lot of spill around it, so you can light up the whole area, but if you need to reach long distances, you have that 200 meters of throw. So on to the rifles. We're going to start out with my all-time favorite of their rifle lights. This is the Odin Mini. This light is super short in size compared to something like the Streamlight ProTac HLX or just a regular Odin, and performance is really great at 1250 lumens and 240 meters of throw. This thing has no shortcomings at all when it comes to function. Starting up front, you do have your lens and you have a nice strike bezel around it. Towards the middle, you do have your mount here and your M-LOK mounting adapter, which we'll get into in a second. And then all the way back is your tail cap, and included in the box is the pressure switch. And this is a locking pressure switch, which is very important to have on a rifle light, because if something snags this cable and you don't see it in the middle of the night, when you go to use your light, say in a life and death situation, and your light does not turn on, that's how you die. So they have this locking tail cap which prevents it from pulling off, which is really nice. And they also include some zip ties so that you can secure this cable down to your rail. And the pressure switch is actually really nice. It's a wide button. Anywhere you push on it though will activate the light, and it all feels really nice and tactile. And the mount for the pressure switch is really nice. It snaps on your Picatinny rail and is very secure and solid. This isn't going anywhere when you snap it on. To unlock the pressure switch from the light, you just click it back, and now it's magnetic. So it just goes on and off like the magnetic charger. And to charge it, all you would do, unlock your pressure switch, pull it off, and connect your charger right there. You don't have to remove it from the rifle. Again, I love that feature about these weapon lights. If you do want to remove it from the rifle, you go down here to this knob, and it is a locking mount, which is again a really nice feature. So if you accidentally push this button, it's not going to release the light. So to unlock it, twist it to the unlock position, push the button, it will release it, and then you can slide it right off. And there is the mount itself now that you can see it without the light on, and look how small it is. This is a really low profile mount. And if you look at the clearance between the light and my iron sights, you can see just how close it is. It's literally perfect. There's only a few millimeters of gap in between there, which is exactly how I want it. I want this as close to my rail as possible so it does not stick out. But again, if I take it off, you can take a look at the light closer in depth, and here it is. This thing is super compact, and that magnetic tail cap is not just for the pressure switch, it actually is a tail switch as well, so you can activate the light with this switch, low and high mode. Low mode is a half press, high mode is a full press. It also has constant on and momentary on, just like the pistol lights. And if you are running the pressure switch, it is always going to be in high mode. Overall though, size and weight for a weapon light of this capacity is really good, and this makes it my favorite of the Olight rifle lights. And if we take this outside, you can see just how bright it is. That 1250 lumens really illuminates the entire area, and again, you get a super wide spill on this with a really nice tight hotspot, reaching out to 240 meters. Overall, all really great features for a weapon light, especially one at this size. But if you want some more brightness and you want some other additional features, let's go ahead and check out my next two favorites. So I'm actually going to group the next two together since they are very similar. It is the Odin GLM and the Odin GL in Desert Tan. The main difference between these two is the Odin GLM comes with an M-LOK mount, whereas the regular Odin comes with a Picatinny rail mount. Other than that, performance and features are exactly the same. So starting up front, you do have a nice crystal clear lens. And under that, again, like the Bowders, you have a laser emitter. This does have a built-in laser just like the two pistol lights. That's really cool. Around the lens you have your switch here, and this is how you go from light only laser and light, or laser only, so you swap your modes there. Further back, you have your windage and elevation screws for adjusting the laser, so just like the two pistols, you can zero it in. Down here is the mount, and further back is your tail cap with the attachable pressure switch. Again, this is a locking pressure switch just like the Odin Mini. See, it locks on, or if I unlock the ring, it comes right off. Just attaches via magnets, and just like the other one, that is where you attach your charging cable. Again, when you charge it, red means it's charging and green means that it is fully charged. There is a charging indicator built into the actual magnetic cable, so that is a really nice feature. And on this pressure switch, you actually have two different modes. You have a high and a low. So on the Odin Mini, it was high only, but if you want to activate your low light, you can hit this little low button on the Odin GL. The low obviously is low mode and high is your high mode. And this thing has 1500 lumens of output. And just like the other one, the mount is exactly the same. The mount for the Odin GL, not the M, is also very similar in the way that it locks on, but instead of an M-lock mount that attaches to the rail, it is Picatinny. But to remove the light from the rail, all you're going to do is make sure you remove your pressure switch, and then you're going to turn this to the unlock position and push the button, and that is going to unlock the light, and then you can just slide it off. And again, there's that mount, extremely similar to the Odin Mini. And then here's the light. You can see you get a bit more length out of it, but you do get a bit more power, 1500 lumens opposed to the 1250 on the Odin Mini. You do lose a little bit of range due to the reflector having a hole in it for the laser, only 215 meters instead of 240, although I've never found that to be an issue. And the laser is super cool. It is a bright green laser, just like all the other lights, and just like the Odin Mini, it does have a tail switch as well. Again, you have half for low mode and full press for high mode, and constant on as well as momentary on, just like all the other weapon lights. And if you want a little more in-depth look at the two colors, here are the two options. I really do love the desert tan color. It really looks nice, especially when you have some tan components on your rifle. And then black obviously looks great too. So let's talk about the performance at night on these two lights. You can see just how bright that 1500 lumens is. That is really, really bright. Both of these lights do perform the exact same. Really good spill and a nice tight hotspot, even though you do lose a little bit of range compared to the Odin Mini. But that green laser makes up for the loss in range. It is super, super bright and really cool to look at. But my overall opinions on all of these rifle lights, you can't go wrong with any of them. It just depends on what features you want. Do you want a little bit more brightness and a green laser, or do you want a shorter and lighter light, but still providing really great output and range? All of these lights, including the two pistol lights, are going to be on sale from now until the 14th, so click the link in the description, check it out. But if you miss the sale, you can still get 10% off anything on the Olight web store besides the X9R using that coupon code APARMS. And again, all that information is in the description. So tell me what you guys think. Which one would you buy? Out of the two pistol lights, which one's your favorite? I'm leaning more towards the Bowder Pro R, but let me know what you think. And again, on these rifle lights, which one do you like more? Do you like the Odin GL, or do you like the size of the Odin Mini and you don't think you need the green laser? Leave a comment, tell me what you think. And if you like the video, be sure to hit like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Make sure you ring that bell so you're notified if you do. And thanks again for watching. See you later.